The biggest survival release of this year? No, it's not Sons of the Forest, believe it or not. It's actually going to be Valheim on Xbox. I'm calling it right now. It's going to blow up massively when it finally goes live on the Games Pass later on today. What is Valheim? Why am I so sure it's going to be a mega hit on console? Let me guide you through everything you need to know about Valheim for you Xbox players getting the chance to finally play one of the best survival games ever. Let's go. So Valheim is a 1 to 10 player co-op action game. It doesn't have dedicated servers that you can go and join, no official servers like DayZ or Ark, but you can go ahead and rent your own from sites like Nitrado. So you can play in a persistent world if you really want. Otherwise, when you play and your friends join you, if you decide to shut off your game, they will not be able to carry on playing until you get back on. Have you only still got a OG Xbox One sitting there gathering dust? Well, don't worry, you'll be able to play Valheim on it. This isn't a game that's only going to be appearing on Series S and X. You will be able to play it on any Xbox One console. Obviously, some things are going to change in terms of performance, but it will be available on an OG Xbox One. Of course, on Xbox Series S and X, expect more fidelity and graphical options, and it will definitely look a lot nicer and play a lot better. But they've had two different port teams working on this from lots of years of experience in porting games, so I'm sure it's going to be the best they can get it. There is obviously a controller scheme set up for it as it already has it on PC, and they've revamped it recently to make it even better and more used to what you're experiencing playing other survival games or even games like Dark Souls. There's no customization yourself at the moment of the controller scheme, but hopefully that'll be something that gets added in the future, and I haven't been able to confirm whether or not it's keyboard and mouse supported on console. It will be a game preview game, so just like the rest of the game preview games, you can actually try it out for free. So somehow or somewhere you've not seen Valheim and you're curious about it, then give it a shot. Absolutely one of the best games, let alone survival games, I've ever played. There is going to be full co-op support and cross-play. You'll be able to play across generations, whether or not your friend's got an Xbox One and you've got a Series X, or your friend is playing on PC or Windows 10. Obviously, Valheim is a Games Pass game. It's going to be exclusive on the console for a good long time. So if you do decide to go and buy it and you have Games Pass, it's only going to be £12.39 or around $15, $16. If you're buying it outright and you don't want to play it on Games Pass, then it's going to be $15.49 or $19.99. Valheim is definitely best played with friends, but it's totally a single player game on your own as well. It is going to be a game preview game, that's why I know it's coming with a free trial. That does mean it's not finished, it's essentially early access, just like its PC version. So updates for the game may sometimes break what you've already got. There may be more bugs or glitches than you're used to. Given I've tried and played over 200 different survival games over the years, I can confidently say Valheim is one of the best in terms of bug-free experiences I've ever encountered on PC. I'm hoping that gets replicated on console, but we'll have to wait and see. But certainly I'm expecting it to be miles better than Ark, Conan Exiles and a whole host of other survival games that hit Games Pass or Game Preview in the past. So updates for the game have fallen into the cadence of big major biome updates once a year. The Mistlands came out just in December last year, and we're not expecting the next one, the Ashlands, until much later on this year. What you'll get in between is a series of smaller content and fixes, with the devs being very communicative online and on their Discord showcasing what's coming. One of the next features is going to be brand new NPC quest givers, new customization for your character, as well as a brand new slew of game modes. All of these updates will be coming to console at the same time. No waiting 3 months for an update to hit consoles, they will be done at the same time because they've got two different port teams working on it. At the moment there is no dedicated creative mode, but on PC you can use console commands. I'm hoping they make it into the console version, otherwise there will be certain game modes added in the very near future. Part of that big update I was talking about with customization will be adding a easy or hard mode to the game. And again, hopefully in the future they add more customization options. At the moment you can't really change or affect how the game is played. You can't increase gather rates of items, and you can't decrease or increase how many mobs or creatures spawn or what kind of resources you get. There's no way to adjust the length of time a day, but you can sleep through the night, so that's one way to avoid sitting through hours of dark. In terms of actual gameplay, what is actually there? A huge amount of different biomes that you explore in a procedurally generated world. The world is pretty much a giant circle that you'll explore, and you can even sail your ship off the edge. You can recreate different seeds just like Minecraft, so if you find one online, you can get that exact same seed on your game. There are currently 6 major bosses within each one of the major biomes that you have to defeat. Each one that you kill will gain you new access to new items and resources that you wouldn't have been able to craft before. Same goes for mobs and other stuff. Once you find something, it unlocks the brand new set of recipes, normally with everything that you can craft. There are catacombs, dungeons and more spread throughout some of the biomes, and some are more peaceful than others. You will have to sail for quite a long time, and there's a variety of different ships to help you get there. Valheim does have base defense elements. Every now and then special events will trigger and you'll be attacked by various different creatures depending on where you are in the game. They can range from bats attacking your base to a full-on assault by massive trolls. You can dig in Valheim, but mainly just for resources like copper and ores. You can't actually build any caves or tunnels. There is some basic farming in the game which you'll need to help make you foods as well as other stuff to keep you alive. Valheim is a survival light game. You don't actually die if you run out of food. Instead, you'll just have a minimal amount of stamina and health. Each piece of food that you eat will either increase your stamina or health, or sometimes both, but usually with one focus on the other. In the latest Mistlands update, they've also added the ether bar, which is pretty much a magic bar. So the more foods that you eat that contain ether, then that will increase how much magical damage you can do. From skeletons to trolls to big slimy worm looking creatures and insectoids, there's so many different varieties of mobs in Valheim and so many different weapons and armors to craft. It can be a challenging game. You do have a dodge mechanic and you are able to strafe around your enemies, hence why some people compare it a little bit to Dark Souls. The map is absolutely huge. It takes forever to sail across, so you can construct things like portals. These will help you get from A to B. There are some limitations though. Certain resources like metals and ores you can't take through, so you have to think carefully about how you progress and how you get your resources back to your base. The seas can be dangerous, filled with storms that will help you lose your way, as well as big massive creatures like these, which you can go ahead and get special chism from. They don't actually harm you, but you have a risk of drowning if you run out of stamina. You can swim in Valheim, but you cannot dive or go deeper, and there isn't too much going on with the sea, with a focus on the oceans coming in future. Not to say there's no dangers. You can come across sea serpents in the waters on occasion, and they have just added fishing, new activities that you can do either from the side of your boat and special places where you see fish, or alongside the coasts. Each biome that you come across will present its own challenges. You have to gather the resources in that biome, kill some of the creatures and mobs to build you up enough that you can gain better gear and armour to hopefully then go and defeat the boss. And that is the system and how things work in Valheim in terms of progression. Nearly all the bosses are summoned, so you pick and choose exactly when you're able to fight them. You can replay and retake on bosses whenever you want, as long as you've got enough resources to summon them, and you will gain similar rewards from the first time. There is no multiple loot chances here. You either get the resource that you need to help you explore the next biome, and usually some sort of trophy. If you're playing multiplayer, when you kill a boss, as I said, you get a specific item that will help you explore the next biome. In this case, taking on the Elder God, you get something called the Swamp Key. This will open up special swamp crypts that you can find, which you will not be able to access unless you've defeated the Elder God. Every player in that multiplayer session should receive one of these, but not every player gets a trophy head, so you'd have to redo the bosses if you want some of the decorations to have back at your home. The trophies are not just for decoration though. In fact, if you put them on the standing stones where you spawn, they will give you unique power-ups that last for anything between 8 to 10 minutes, and these will give you either increased chopping rate, maybe adjust the weather when you're sailing, increased stamina, etc., and basically buffs. There is a skill system in the game. Chop wood, you'll get better at using axes. Kill monsters with your spear, you'll get better at using the spear. The more you use something or do something, the more you get better at it. Building is a huge focus of Valheim, with multiple different build sets, with full freedom to merge and create different constructions. You also get something called a rested buff, which helps give you more longer lasting health regeneration and other benefits. And to get this, you have to make your home cozy. Make sure that it's got some nice decorations, furniture, and it's well built. Valheim was one of the biggest games to come out in 2021. It's hit over 11 million copies sold by now, I'm sure, on Steam, and it's going to be massive when it does hit on Xbox. So of course there's a billion guides out there, but I am going to be doing fresh gameplay showing you what it's actually like on Xbox as soon as I'm able to when it drops later on today. But hopefully that's give you a sense or taste of what to expect with Valheim and where Valheim is at the moment. If you've got any other questions, do leave them in the comment section down below, and go and check out both my channels as I'll be covering Valheim on both of them in the future. Until next time, ratbags, laters.